Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for checking me out. Jay's Magic Drops. So, I'm going to explain the secret of life. That's what we're going to talk about today. The secret of life. The secret of life. Okay? Stay with me now. Stay with me. Stay with me. So, when you are born, you come into this world pure. You go through things in life and traumas, and you grow up a certain way depending on your environment and your caretakers, and you will have certain damages, certain traumas, certain things that are gonna change you from that pure form that you were born into, and then you get damaged. And we are meant to be damaged because it's how we grow and learn and become better people and are able to help people that are struggling with the same things that we went through. So anyway, we get these traumas, we get older, and then we start realizing as we get to a certain point of our age that we can either continue to let these traumas affect us and branch off until we hurt others, or we can stop that right here and now and work on ourselves and find ways to reverse our traumas, okay? Not really reverse them, but heal them, to heal our traumas, because there is no reversing. So once you find that point where you're ready to heal your traumas, then you heal them. Then you sit down, you talk about it with yourself, you write it down, you journal. You talk about it with friends and family that you trust, that you can be vulnerable with. You if you wish. You just make sure to hear yourself, hear that part of you that is damaged. Your body is a temperature gauge. Your body is here to tell you what is wrong. When something is wrong, your body will show you that. So when you're feeling trauma and you're like having a really bad day out of nowhere, or something that you push down and you finally become still, that's usually when it happens, when you're still, when you're not doing nothing, when your mind's calming down and you're not on your to-do list or your everyday routines, or you're not around people or something and it's really quiet. When things become still, that's when the truth comes up. And that's why I believe in meditation so much. Personally, I don't usually say these types of things, but personally, when I first started meditating, all of my traumas and issues was the very first thing I had to confront. I couldn't even meditate. I couldn't meditate. My mind was overwhelming me with the traumas that I hadn't dealt with yet, and the emotions that came with that weren't settled. They weren't heard out. They weren't transmuted. So every time I became still, especially during meditation, is when it happened, because that's a very still point when you meditate. I realized this. I had that realization. So when you're ready to start working on yourself, if you choose to do meditation, you don't have to. Just being still in general, whether that's fishing, reading a book, anything that's very still, just sitting outside. That's other ways that you can have that stuff pop up very easily. You just can't have outside distraction too much. But when you get to that point and you're checking yourself, you're hearing your body, that's when you go and you transmute that. That's when the alchemy comes in. And you start to dismantle your whole life of who you were growing up, and you reassemble it in the ways that aligns with you now, with your true self. And you accept and forgive, or whatever you have to do. You take your past traumas and experiences and you put them in the jar and you close it off. You give it closure. You give something closure, so then you can put it up. So when you get to that point that you're finally able to give yourself closure from all of the prehistory that you've had in your past, now we're going to talk about trauma coming after that point, after the point that you've healed as much as you can for the past. Life doesn't stop. Life does not stop. So, you're going to have more stuff you're going through if you're not already going through it while you're trying to heal. So when new things occur now this is the time to use the same stuff that you learned to help you get out of your childhood traumas and redirect yourself and recorrect where you're branching off to. Now that you've done all that work, you've learned what alchemizing is. You've learned what it means to turn your pain into passion. You've learned what it means to turn the darkness back into light. Once you've learned this, you now use it in the future. So whatever traumatic events happen in the future, because to gain is to lose, To gain is to lose, because that was added to your life and it can be taken away any day. So with that being said, there's so many traumas that we're going to end up going through anyway that we just have to work on. So once you get to that point, get back on path. Once you get to that point, you're going to use these same alchemy techniques that you use to transmute your feelings and emotions and give yourself closure. You're going to use that for everything going forward after you've healed yourself. So now in life, anything that comes your way, you already know what to do. If you need to isolate and heal and go over it yourself, let it set in, accept it, come to the point of letting all your emotions out. You have to hear these parts of you. You have to hear them. These are parts of you that are screaming to be heard. That's why you're having these emotional breakdowns and emotional moments where you just can't be in your normal self, because your body is screaming at you to be heard. So once you hear your body and you make time for this stuff, that's how you deal with life. And it's no easy process. There's no begin date, end date to when I started transmuting my pain to when it's over. Like, there is no date. Like, you just do it until you feel right. But you can't be in the mindset where you're obsessed with it to where you can't let it go. You have to take yourself away from it at some point. Once you've felt those emotions and you've got that out, you've wrote it all out, you've forgiven, you've done everything you can. If you're still feeling it, you gotta slowly come away from that and keep telling yourself, remind yourself of that closure moment. What is it that brings you closure to the situation? So it's all love. This is the secret of life. This is how you keep your mind from going out of control, because life does not stop for you. And all those traumas and stuff that you never healed will consistently spiral back up, and then they go back down, and they spiral back up, and they go back down. And it's not going to leave until you in the cycle. New cycles will come if you don't heal the next trauma. It's all love, people. This is the secret to life. Life is no easy task. It's not for the weak of heart, the faint of heart. That's the word, that's the phrase. But it's all love on this side. The secret to life.